Can you see that?
Yes, I can. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments.
Okay. The word is Torah that they've done is teaching. So my son, my Torah, do not forget. And everybody, I assume, knows what Torah is. The law, instruction. And let your heart guard my commandments. Verse 2.
For length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you.
Live long and prosper. That is the key to Proverbs. It's actually Spock. Just live. If you do what we say, you live long and prosper. And that's what brings up Job. That's what brings up Ecclesiastes. But remember, Proverbs is not a promise. What is Proverbs? But what is it? And even with respect to that, thank you. It's observations. And he says, as a rule, you do this crap, you're going to live long and prosper. People still get hit by trucks. People still get cancer. And people still lose jobs. But as a rule, you'll live long and prosper. Okay. Verse 3, I'll do. Covenant loyalty and truth. Don't let them abandon you. Don't let them leave. Keep them close, in other words. Bind them or tie them on your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Now, Chesed, they do steadfast love. And that's just nonsense. That's not what it means. Yeah. It's the emotional component of the covenant. The loyalty inherent in that. And you want to be loyal to the covenant and to truth, which I find interesting. Not, I mean, you should say it elsewhere, but here it's not love of God or any of these things, which he will say elsewhere. But here he's saying truth, covenant, loyalty, and truth. And remember what we read in Deuteronomy 4, which we looked at several times, that the Torah is our philosophy. That's what Moses was telling people. The people around us will look at it and say, well, that's pretty smart. And you guys don't look smart. That must come from somewhere. And what other people has a God that talks to them? Which is what the Torah taught. I don't know why I don't have breath this morning, but nevertheless. So covenant, loyalty, and truth. Don't let them deviate from, leave you. You do this and find favor and good prudence in the eyes of God and man, God and humans. This is how you do that in the sight of gods and humans. All right, verse 5, please.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding.
All right. Standard verse that we've heard all our lives, right? And that's what it says. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart and to your own understanding. Don't rely. You're not smart enough. The bottom line. Verse 6.
In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path.
Now that we're looking at, that's the ESV up there I put. It all comes. Hi, Jennifer. Dang nabbit. It all stands for the King James. And acknowledge, when you hear in all your ways acknowledge him, what do you hear? What does acknowledge mean? Do it for him. Okay. What else do you hear?
Recognition.
Recognize him. That's what we mean by acknowledge, right?
Seek his will, not your own.
Well, why would you say acknowledge to convey that?
Because you're acknowledging that he's putting things in action. He's putting things in motion to his own accord, to what is gonna bring about his kingdom. And if what you want happens to fall into that, great. And if not, then you may have to not get what you want.
Is that on my computer? Well, it's a poor translation. It's just wrong. And it's a result of the King James. And I suspect it's because it meant something different in 1611 than it does now. And then, believe me, you deviate from the King James if you're a Bible publisher at your own peril. It's actually know him. In all your ways, know him. That's a big difference than acknowledge him. In all your ways, experience. When you lose your job, know God. When your child is born, know God. The good and the bad, know him. And even better, experience him. Remember, the premise of Proverbs is that if you put on your glasses enough, eventually a thought forms. Oh, never mind. So the wise life, the good life, is predicated on experiencing God. And notice it's not a generic deity. It's Yahweh, as we saw in the previous verse. So it's not the divine, it's a specific God. And you must experience him in all your ways, the good and the bad. Verse 7.
Is the word straight, is that correct as well?
What?
The word straight.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, yes. He'll straighten out your paths.
Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord, turn away from evil.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward. In your own eyes. And it's chacham, be wise. But notice this part. You gotta turn from evil. Verse 8.
It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones.
What will be?
Knowing him.
Yeah. All right. This personal element to the walk with Yahweh, and let's put it in our terms, to the Christian walk, is unique to Israelite religion. Egyptians didn't go around going, man, no Mot, no Ra. And it's not what you do. And as a rule, you didn't say no Baal either. You participated in the rituals, but that was about it. You didn't want the deities knowing you existed. You wanted to fly under the radar. But here, know him, experience him. All right, we'll pass the buck. You did a very good job.
Thank you, sir.
Verse 9. Oh, John, you don't ever read. Read for me.
I don't ever read.
Would you read verse 9, please?
Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce.
So, straightforward, that's tithing. Doesn't use that term, but that's the idea. Why this? Let's honor, give glory.
I think that's a part of like acknowledging and recognizing who God is, and He is the one who gives you what you need. And honoring, you honor Him by through your giving, you're honoring Him, recognizing the source of what you have.
That should be the point, of course. I mean, this isn't rocket science. Or I got to pick up a new science. That's hard. This isn't IT. So you guys are a tough crowd today.
The first fruits, is that like a reference into the Old Testament?
Yeah, that's the technical term for tithes, what you look at. So he's saying do the tithing part. And this brings glory to God. And it's you acknowledging, as you said, the source. Verse 10, John.
Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine.
Yes. The wine press will be overflowing. Okay, sounds good. If that's your goal, this is how you do it. But not necessarily should be your goal, but nevertheless, live long and prosper. You hear that, right? Starting a new section, as the repetition of my son demonstrates. Kenny,
My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline or be weary of his reproof.
and that's the word. It's the word we talked about before. The discipline of Yahweh, my son, do not reject. Okay, don't. Excuse me. And don't loathe. Like that. Loathe his reproof. Why? Verse 12.
For the Lord reproves him whom he loves, as a father, the son in whom he delights.
Straightforward. And that is the same, it's the verb of the noun we had before. Oh, good grief. Anyway, 13.
Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding.
All right. Word blessed, it's a technical thing. It's actually, oh, the happiness of. Oh, how happy is the human who finds wisdom. And the human. This verb, obtain, it's got a wide range, but there's that word understanding again. This is a good thing. Trust me, you want to obtain wisdom and understanding. It pays off. Why? Verse 14.
For the gain from her is better than gain from silver, and her profit better than gold.
Do we need to unpack that?
Yeah.
Well, it's more profitable.
Her,
Who do you think that is? Lady Wisdom. Shows up a lot. Hokmah. When you hear ah at the end of the word, that's a feminine ending. And so wisdom itself, the word is a feminine noun. So he may not even be referencing lady wisdom. But yeah, wisdom's gain is better. Silver or gold. Okay. 15.
she is more precious.
Wait a minute, we skipped 14. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. What do I know?
She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor.
And if you do this, you get it right. Live long and prosper. It's there. Seventeen.
Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace.
Yeah, it's her Her ways are the ways of delight. It's another way you can do it. And all her paths, road, way, cow paths. I mean, there's lots of words for this stuff. Are shalom. What does shalom mean? But you've heard enough sermons on that. What else does it mean? I can't hear you.
Satisfaction.
Okay, what else?
Smooth breathing.
Oh yeah, you can say shalom, but yeah, it's not just absence of violence. Okay, peace. It's wholeness, completeness. And a verb from this root means to pay a wage because you have a lack, you're owed money. So she lames, she pays you. Okay, so it's to be made whole. All this stuff, peace. Now,
She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold fast are called blessed.
okay. Now it is Lady Wisdom. Okay. I don't need to unpack that.
Lord, by wisdom founded the earth, by understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke open, and the clouds dropped down the dew.
Drop down the dew. So this is actually, we know this, but unpack that a little bit. Yahweh in his wisdom founded the earth. Not what you expect. I mean, there's repercussions to that statement that go beyond being a wise man. This is all science. That the universe is subject to rational inquiry. That's what this is. I mean, it's not saying that because he didn't care about scientists, but that's one of the implications of this, is that you can look at the universe and learn, and it's got order to it. By wisdom, he founded the earth. It's not a random conglomeration of stuff. There's order, which of course is what science has been discovering, physics and so forth. And then, and he established the heavens in understanding. Again, this rational inquiry is possible. And I'm not making that up. Scientists, well, natural philosophers, as they were called, in the Middle Ages and beyond, they made reference to this verse, and that you can seek that out. The Greeks kind of assumed it. I mean, you look at the world, there is a certain order to it. It's inescapable.
Goes back to Genesis.
Well, yeah, but yeah, from chaos and emptiness comes order. Did we read 20? Well, that's right. I had to pick up the dew.
I'm getting made fun of, Don.
No.
We have an understanding. In his knowledge, the deeps, the Tehom, the primeval ocean, broke open. And so this is attributing it to God's cleverness, if you will. And the clouds do. All right, fine. I was going to go somewhere else with that. I changed my mind. 21.
My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretions.
All right. Don't let these turn aside from your eyes, is what he's saying. So let's lose sight of these. Contemplate them. Meditate on them. That is what he's arguing for. And why would we do that? First of all, what's the them? Well, he tells us guard, preserve, sound wisdom, and purpose. He keeps their discretion, it's wrong, and purpose. Let them stay ever before you. Treasure, that's not the word. Guard them. And they will be what? Oh, sorry.
And they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck.
So again, I'm not making this up. Live long and prosper. That is the message of Proverbs. Life. I mean, if you want to die young, do the opposite of what I'm saying. Go rob that Quick Trip. You know, eventually you'll run into a clerk with a gun. Okay. 23.
Then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet.
Okay, so this is how security comes. That's nice. I don't have anything to add. 25.
Do not be afraid of sudden terror or the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught.
Sudden there, that's a good word. A variation of this is the word coward. When I lived in Israel, we lived in an ultra-Orthodox neighborhood. Or the whole 9 yards. So Friday night, Shabbat, which is Friday evening to Saturday evening, was an interesting experience because we barricaded our neighborhood off so you couldn't drive through it. And then they would come home from synagogue, they would throw the barricades out into the street at the cars. So we essentially were off, say, Memorial, one of those side streets, and the side streets were blocked off. And then they take it and they throw the barricades out into Memorial at cars, and then honk and they'd swerve out of the way. And then you'd hear them yell, Shabbos, Shabbos. And we would sit on our balcony and watch them. It was our Friday night entertainment. And I'm 22. The stupidity of a 22-year-old is beyond comprehension. But I thought I could change that. So I was yelling at them, Pagdadim, cowards. That's what made me think of this. It didn't have an effect. I kept throwing the Barzoline, the iron things into the street. It was interesting. And then cops would come. Every Friday, the cops would come and quell the riot. Okay.
Just trying to get the cars to recognize.
Yeah, stop driving it. Stop it. Because in their mindset, the Messiah can't come until everybody keeps the law. And so you're depriving me of the Messiah.
You don't want to be a cop on Friday night.
Most Israelis are fairly secular. So imagine it was a lot of eye rolls. 27 is kind of interesting. Get that one.
Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it.
So what does that mean?
So I've seen and heard and done this. Like as an educator, it's my job to teach students. And inevitably students are students and they get rowdy, they get out of their way. And sometimes I feel like, well, they don't deserve this teaching. They're not due it. Like, you're not picking me, therefore they're not to do what I'm giving. And so I respond accordingly. Maybe I give them a twerk, maybe I don't give them assistance, things of that nature. Even though they are needed.
Okay,
And so it's in my power to do it.
yeah, I can certainly teach them. What else? What I hear is City of Hope. Somebody's in need and it's in your power to do something about it. Do it. But to whom it's due, that's not the best term. It's do not withhold good from its owner. That's what it actually says. And
That'd be about time.
now it's pretty vague. Yeah, it can be applied to quite a few things, as you can see. If it's in your power, don't do it. Don't withhold it. Okay, who's reading? Well, we only got a couple more verses. Finish it out.
Do not say to your neighbor, go and come again, tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not plant an evil against your neighbor who dwells trustingly beside you.
So not only don't withhold the good, don't go the other way either. Don't plan harm. You know, I'm going to undermine his fence. He's a pig. And this,
Do not envy a man of violence and do not choose any of his ways.
what? Oh, verse
Oh,
30.
I'm sorry. If you moved it on me, do not contend with a man for no reason when he has done you no harm.
Which means people do that. Don't argue with a guy for no reason. That's actually the thing. Don't sue him. Don't sue a man for no reason, especially when he hasn't done anything to you. Don't be jealous. Envy is a good word of a man of violence. And don't choose his path. That payoff is not good. And 32.
For the devious person is an abomination to the Lord, but the upright are in his confidence.
That's right. Ooh, an abomination. And finish it out.
The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. The wise will inherit honor, but the fools get disgrace.
Again, our wise versus fool distinction. All right. I like Proverbs. I don't know what you guys think, but I find it interesting. Any comments? Any announcements? Nope. Okay, would you pray for us, please?
Thank you so much for bringing us together in this time and getting deeper into your word. Lord, we just ask that you would give us guidance and wisdom throughout this week. Thank you so much for sharing the word with people. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. See y'all. And I will stop sharing and stop recording.